Hi guys, Sinan here on Heat, Gas and Plumbing. I'm very cold. Today is van clean out day. I'm not going to lie, it's been long overdue. Unfortunately, we all know how it is. You get so busy running around from job to job, jobbing, that you know you kind of get a bit complacent and you lose your way a bit with it, and everything gets on top of each other, and then it's so difficult to find what you want, and that's not good. The purpose of this video is for me to share with you some ideas of how I organise my van. Nothing in this video is gospel. You know, everyone's got a different way of working, so I suppose it's just to be taken quite lightly, and it's merely just to take my ideas if you want to, and maybe even evolve them, make them your own in one way or another. But I suppose the video's aimed at people who are just maybe starting out in the trade, haven't got to grips yet quite with how they like to organise things. It's just me over the past 7 years, 8 years in fact, doing this. It took me a long time to get to the point where I knew how I like things. I guess a big part of that is just knowing how you work, finding out how you work over time, and you just tend to sort of organise in that way. And it's just, as I say, just sharing tips about how to organise your van and the things I do to get me by on a day-to-day basis and make things accessible and easy to get to. It's very difficult because if you're not organised, then you'll find that you make less money. It's just as simple as that. You end up just going and buying duplicates of everything. You know, I mean, today, just cleaning this out, I mean, I found about 5 of what I needed last week, and I've just had to go out and buy more quantity because I couldn't find what I was looking for, and that's just bad organisation. So hands up to that. But you know, it's once in a while you have to dedicate your weekends to sorting it all out and getting it done, and then you just find it makes your life so much easier. Right, so here we are, and this is what I get in there. Ford Transit. Sorry about the lack of light, it's night time now, so it took me pretty much all day to get this sorted. So, organisers, right, fittings. These are, well, let me just come into the light a little bit. There we are. This is my copper organiser. 12 compartments in there. I find that's just enough. This is what I take in with me into jobs. So 22s, couplers 15. These are just the fittings that I use most of, basically. That's what I'll take in with me. Drain offs only become apparent that I need more of those today when I cleaned up. So that's copper organiser. I've also got fittings in those pigeonholes there as well. These are backup fittings. Basically, when they finish there, I will go into here, and if there's none left in here, then I'll top up. Basically, it's just so that I never run out. Usually, I'll top up as soon as I'm out here, just so that those are always left there in case I need them in an emergency. That way, I know that I'll never run out. So, just again, usual fittings: 15mm elbows, 22mm elbows at the bottom, 15 couplers at the bottom. They're 22s all the way along. These are just a mixed batch of fittings that we don't really use much of. 15, 22s. Just different types of fittings that I don't use much of, but just to get me out of trouble when I do need them. These are just odds and sods, really. It's from a Vaillant boiler that I installed. I didn't use them because there was a Vaillant installed previously, so it's just slot it straight in. Bends, I don't usually use these either. I'll bend my own bends, but it's good to have them just to get you out of trouble. And then in the compartment there, I've got a bunch of 28 fittings. again, 28's not something I really stock a lot of, so I'll just mix them in with each other, because when I'm doing 28mm installations, I'll always just go out and get what I need and just use them on the day, sort of prepare myself for 28. So these are just, again, fittings, just as spares, just to get me out of trouble when I need them to. This line here onwards is all basically boiler related and gas related. It's kind of my servicing compartments there. So a few collars, spare collars, you don't know when you're going to need more of those. Blue brackets, collars for valence. And here I've just got odds and sods of just parts that I took out of boilers that I've removed, but kept some of the good components just in case I need them to save me on the day. So ideal gas valves, there's a diverter valve for a valent in here somewhere. There we are, diverter valve for a valent in there. Condense fittings along the top there. Condense, these are straights and just these odds and sods for condense again. Here I have my my elbows, which I use a lot of, so I keep them separated so I know where they are. 45s, again, I use these a lot, so keep them separated as well. And then I've got some condense clamps for waste pipes there. Bottom shelf here, heating shelf. So I've got some spare lock shields, a couple in there, I'm running out of those as well, just in case I need those. Again, a lot of this stuff I'll go out and buy for the jobs when I need to, but I've always got spares just in case. You never know when you're going to need spares. Towels in there, TRVs here, and then these are my special chrome TRVs and lock shields in that one there, so I know that they're there. Here we've got an extra pump. Always keep an extra pump on me just in case. You never know when you're going to need to test a pump or see if a pump's faulty, so I always whack that on there just to check that it's not the pump, and then I'll take it off again, go and buy a brand new one for them, install the new one, and then keep this with me again, just because I know that it's working and I can use it to test. Inhibitors and cleaners up here in the central heating compartment. Some neutralizer for a power flush is in there, and CalMag. Just some bigger screws that I don't actually keep in my box. These are just because sometimes you're going to need these bigger raw plugs when drilling goes a bit wrong. And down here we've got this to keep my tapes on. A lot of my stuff's inside, so there's usually Denso tape that goes on there, and a bunch of other tapes, electrical tapes and duct tape. We'll just go across here, and then when I need them, I'll unclip, take them off, put them back on. Electrical box. Always have an electrical box. I find it very useful. I mean, we don't do a whole lot of electrics because we're plumbers, but you never know when you're going to need bits and bobs, so I'll just fuses, connector blocks, plugs, some bits and bobs in there. I can get that back in there now. Right, washers, miscellaneous washers. This is just different types of washers. These ones that I don't use very frequently, they're just odd sizes, but again, you never know when you're going to need this sort of stuff, so I'll keep them just in case. And here is some O-rings that I keep stored as well. In here I've got PVC cement, solvent weld, and here I've got 15mm clips and 22mm clips, nail clips, 15 and 22 again here, and I've done a nice little compartment there for my silicones just to sit in so they're not flying all over the place when I'm driving. It helps. Pipe benders, nice and tidy, hanging there. Again, I hate it when things just fly around the van, so I try to keep things sort of hung up or
secured in a way where I know that I'm not going to open the back of my van, it's going to look like a skip again. In this box here, this is just like really heavy duty stuff that I'll keep. I don't usually keep power tools out, but I've got my chaser in here because again, it's not something that I'll use all the time, it's just when I need to, it's there basically. Just things like that just fly about. So a scraper, good for scraping off silicone sometimes when you're careful. And just the core bits. I've got, in terms of core bits, I don't carry it all with me. I just carry the one for the flue, a 40mm and the 32mm core, just for waste pipes and flues and soil pipes basically. So that's the majority of the diamond core stuff that I actually use. I've got the other bits and bobs, the bigger ones, the other sizes, the 50mm and whatnot, but that's always kept in the shed for when I need to grab them. I'll grab them out of there. In this box here is just odds and sods of like clips, screws, stuff that is sort of not in compartments because the compartments are all filled. So I'll put them in here so that it's kind of a spare box basically. When I run out, I know that there's some there as a backup. So extension lead. This is what I do with all my cables, because I've got a lot of these, and I'll cut them down to 2 meters, 2 meter lengths, and then just fold them up like that so that I could just grab one when I need to use it. There's 5 core there, there's 3 core, and that comes in handy keeping them like this because again, you haven't got a load of wire flapping all around the van. So, there's a bunch of them there behind there. Back to these organisers. Oh yeah, these are my waste pipe, waste bits. So I've got 32mm bits. I'll mix these up because they're too big as fittings to organise separately, so you'll just take up a lot of the van. So I'll mix them up, and then there's not. I try not to keep a whole lot of them there so that I know what's there and what I'm missing. So I'll just go through them when I need bits. 32mm, 40mm, in here. These are dreaded. We always pull these out or buy them and then not end up using them. Well, we don't pull them out, we don't reuse these, I take that back. But when you do have one left over for some reason or another, you never know what to do with it. So this box was basically dedicated to that because I hate them flying around the van. And just a few compression bits. Again, I'll go out and get these when I need to, but they're just little backups. Ideally I'll prefer to use that so it's not here, and then when I need one I can go and get one and use it, but it's just when it is left over you don't know what to do with it, and they're quite expensive so you don't want to throw them away. Right, these organisers here, very good. I like these because they clip together like so. Stops them from moving around in the van again, and then when you need to take one separately, all you have to do is unclip, and just take the one that you need. In some cases, in installations, you might want to take all 3 of them, and you can do that. But yeah, Stanley Fatmax. The only problem is with these ones, they're a little bit small, but because they do this, it's quite handy. So in here, again, I've got 15mm clips. Again, this is something that I would take in with me on each job, because you're always going to use screws with clips and clips with screws, so it's good to take them in all together so you don't have to keep going and coming from the van. Some washers, plastable screws, different size screws, and finally raw plugs there. So that's something that I would always want to use together, so I'll take that in with me. Right, compressions. Now, compressions can be a bit of a nightmare. You'll lose a nut and they'll end up looking like that, basically, without any nuts. So what I do is I'll keep all the spare nuts, 22mm there, 15mm there, I'll chuck them in and I'll just put the fittings into place, and then when I need to use one or the other, I'll grab a nut with each fitting and use them like that. These are a little bit mixed because I don't always find myself using compressions on a day-to-day basis, so I tend to just sort of generalize and keep them, you know, kind of mixed in together. Like these reducers, for example, and bits and bobs, I'll keep them together. Anything that goes from 22 to 15, male thread, female thread, whatever it might be, they'll be in one compartment. Caps I'll keep separate because we always use caps. 22 again, 15. Washing machine valves, and just bits and bobs. So that's that. So I'll do this one here again. Little plumbing box. So double check valves, lever valves, missing a nut. Isolation valve, isolation 22, 15s, inserts, 22mm inserts, 15mm inserts, and of course we've got some Jubilees here as well. Cap ends. Need these, need more of these. Only become apparent today, cleaning out. That will need more of those. 22, 15, that's meant to be 22 there, run out. See, you only know what you're out of when you start cleaning, so that's why it's so important. Right, and finally this box here, another little organisation box at the bottom. This one hasn't got too much in it, but it's just kind of another little get me out of trouble box. For shower valves, extensions, I didn't know what to do with them, so it's kind of like a mixed little compartment here. Toilet fixings, brackets that I've kept, hardly use these, but it's good to have someone new, so I've just kept them in there just in case. Again, fixings for basins, olives 22mm, and once again we are out of 15mm olives, so got to top those up as well. So that's pretty much it. And then this, right, okay, if you're looking at getting a security box, there's nothing I'd recommend more than Armour Guard. These Van Vault ones, these yellow ones that you see from Screwfix and that, honestly, I've seen ones peeled back like a baked bean tin before. But this Armour Guard, I couldn't recommend it more highly. Really, really good box, solid as you like. And in here I've got my beloved Vito bag, and this is my gas servicing bag, and I've also got a TP3 on the way, just to carry in with me when I need to. And I'll just leave my drills pretty much loose like this in there. I need to sort that out actually. I'm thinking of getting one of those big DeWalt boxes. But, oh, there's one more here. In this box here, and I've struggled with these for a while, but these bits and bobs from bathrooms, they're quite chunky and you don't know what to do with them. I try not to stock up on them, but it's just, you have to have some stuff related to it, because you know it's good to be stocked up a little bit. It's just a really mixed sort of plumbing bathroom box. You've got a flush valve in there, you've got a fill valve here, just a spare little hose. Just, this is really just again another get me out of trouble thing. This is very useful. It's just a bag filled with loads of different washers and size washers and seals and things like that. Anything I find, or any, you know, that's usable, or anything that I buy and get out of a pack that I don't use, it will always go in this little bag here. And I've always got loads of seals to choose from to get me out of trouble. Sometimes it does happen where you need them odd sizes, so that will go back down, if I can get it in there, down there. Okay, and that is pretty much the contents of my van. Oh, and that red bag there, that's just filled with loads of plastic fittings. 15-22 again mix. I don't really use plastic very often, only on certain jobs, so that's just some spare bits that I've got left over from that, and I'll just go to it when I need to. But other than that, oh, spirit levels, I like these. Basically what I've done here is I've gone through there like that with these straps, and it does hold all the spirit levels together, but the rest are inside now, but those straps do wrap around, and I get the big ones on there as well. So it's pretty organised, I'd say. I'd love to hear how everyone else does it, and you know, get some tips from other people as well. So if you feel that there is a better way for anything I've shown you, then I'll be delighted to hear your ideas, take them on board. And I forgot about this one. Just drill bits, loads of different drill bits when I need to use them. And that's pretty much it. That's where I am with it. That's how I stay organised. And yeah, any ideas, any suggestions, share. I hope this has been useful for those who struggle. Again, these bits here clipped in. These are just spares, things that don't go into the pipe rack because they're too short, and when you put them in there you can't get them back out again. So I've put these clips here and I just slot them in. Just odd lengths of pipe really. There's a 15mm clips down here. I haven't got any 15mm going there at the moment. I've got no odd bits, used them all, but condensed pipe I find it happens with, because you never end up using the whole length usually. So it's just good to have that there. But yeah, stay organised and you'll be happier. So hope this helped. Thank you for listening.